Hi, welcome to 2011 Studies. Last night, early in the morning, I posted a study on the eclipse. How there was a lot of hysteria around, the rapture and all that. And I didn't want to... I filmed the eclipse today. And I'm telling you, that was the most awesome event that I can remember in a long time. It was... I can't explain it really, because when you're so used to in the daytime going out and you're working and doing stuff in the yard or whatever, and then I'm filming this and it was getting dimmer, but that's no different really than the dimming of the sun by some of these planes, dimming or spreading chaff or whatever they're spreading, geoengineering, because that has the same kind of like a negative glow. It just has a weird atmosphere look to it. There ain't nothing. There ain't nothing compared to that eclipse. I mean, you're in light, and then boom, it was night. And I looked around, and I was fiddling with the camera because it had gone into total eclipse. And I was, I know I only had so much time left to shoot the pictures that I wanted to get. So I was changing the batteries. And my lights start going on, like the property lights. Just at night they come on. If an animal passes a corridor way or the stone brick walkway, the lights will go on. Well, that's what was happening, and I just got the chills. And I think why is because even though I put that video up about the people claiming that there could be a rapture and all this other crazy stuff. Well, they don't. I can't really fault them because they don't probably know about the 1335 days yet, but they will. But I leave a lot of comments in these. But when I experienced that firsthand, and I don't think I've ever been through a total eclipse. I don't think there's ever been. Man, unless there was one in the 60s sometime, or the 70s. But I just can't remember it. But anyway, so yeah, I'm messing with the camera, and by the way, I've got pictures coming up here. It's just like me babbling. I got pictures and a little bit of video. The video is really hard to shoot because the angle of the sun was straight up. My camera, I have a viewer I could flip down and just look down into it, and you have directional view. But man, that was just ominous. It was awe-striking. You can think of any word in the dictionary to try to explain how that felt. I got tears in my eyes. I prayed right away because I think behind this, I know that we are approaching the last day and the coming of Christ on the last day. And it seems like the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. I think the timekeepers will go out, literally go out, and I'm not sure if that's related to an eclipse or if it's just time no more, as far as how we view time here on earth. And of course God's going to recreate a new heavens and a new earth. But it's just the fact that we're so accustomed to and so used to light that when it's taken out in the middle of the day, it just there's a damper that puts on your spirit, and it's like, man, this is a prelude. This is a prelude to the last day, because this is going to happen. So I was awestruck by all this. I really was. And I filmed or took pictures of a few eclipses. As a matter of fact, last October, I walked out, on the front porch, and boom, the eclipses started. I ran in and got the camera, and I was, filming that. But that was not a total eclipse at the time. And then a friend told me, well, there's one in April coming up, and it's going to be visible in Dallas, so if it's visible in Dallas, you should be able to shoot it again, so you have another chance, because I didn't do too well on the first attempt of taking pictures. I'm telling you, people, if you did not experience that eclipse, And I feel sorry for people who had to work, because I talked to a couple of people and they say, yeah, we went outside. The employees went outside, so that was cool for an employer to do that. But man, just awesome, absolutely awesome. I really can't think of an experience that I've had. You know, sometimes when you go to a really beautiful place, it's like Yosemite in California, you walk around, these rocks, these mountainous rocks are huge. You feel like a little worm. You feel really small. And you're like looking up at these things. This was a different experience, because it made you feel small in the way that we know that we're on track to understanding the coming of Christ on the last day. And this 1335 days is super important, and I probably talked too much about it, but I can't help it, because, you know, once you have the dedicated outline of it, where it trumpets the Pentecost in certain years, like 2022 to 2026, and also 2027 to 2031. So, yeah, this is really quite an experience, because I just automatically, and I'm not joking, I went into prayer, and I was praying something like, God, give me wisdom. That's all I care for right now, is your wisdom and understanding to understand the things of the end. Because it was almost like a prelude. I was there during this eclipse when it went dark, and it sparked, you know, a futuristic idea of what it could be like. And it's frightening in that sense. But it's also glorious in that sense, because Christ is related to the sun. The song I wrote, Yahweh, your face shines like the sun. You know, He is the light of the world, and that'll be soon known. Like I mentioned in the last study, or the eclipse last night when I talked about that, is when Christ was crucified, they were crucifying the light of the world. And that's why He came, to bring light into darkness. So anyway, I've got some music lined up. I'm going to master it tonight, and then I'm going to take the pictures that I took, and I hope most of them came out. We had cloud cover. I'm going, oh no! It was weird, because the forecast was partly cloudy. I said, okay, I could live with that, because at least you'll get some pictures. But right before the total eclipse, these clouds come in and block it. And I'm going, no! I mean, it was like I was almost there. I changed the batteries. I did everything right. I'm not slacking. I'm not a slacker. But, yeah, luckily, those clouds moved really fast past, and then boom, it was darkness. It was darkness. It was just like, man. And I had put the dog in, because I didn't know how he would react. Some animals probably, and I'm sitting there taking these pictures, and there's a squirrel up on the roof. Now, normally when I walk outside, the squirrels scatter. They just, they're eating the bird seed or whatever, and they scatter. They take off. This squirrel was up there on the roof. He was staring at me, and he wouldn't stop staring at me. He kept on looking around like, hey, something ain't right here. He was like, man. I took a couple pictures. I'll put the picture of the squirrels in if it came out good, because it was getting dim at that point. But that was pretty funny, I thought. But the birds were still chirping. They were chirping away. It's just crazy, man. It's like, that was a really good experience. It kind of made me realize, we're getting close, because I remember the eclipse last year. Here we are in the other one in April. That year went by like that. So what's going to happen if it's 2027 to 2031? It's going to go by super fast. We're going to be in 2026 before long. So if you need information on what we're talking about, there are some new subscribers, and I appreciate you guys subscribing. If you don't understand what we're talking about here on 2011 Studies, put something in the comments saying, what are you talking about with the 1335 days? How is that significant? and I'll answer right on the page, and or any other questions. I mean, if there's questions about the coming of Christ, that's what this channel was established for back in 2011. So I'll put some music to the, I'm going to master some music, put it to the Eclipse. Hope you enjoy it. I sure did. It made me pray very hard. God, give me wisdom and understanding, because at this point, that is all that matters, and sharing it, freely. So anyway, my name is Marty Catuzzo. The email address is 2011studies@gmail.com, and I hope you enjoy the pictures and the music. God bless you.